Right, I've got the lovely Hannah with me. It's paper dress time. Hannah, paper dress, vintage shop and bar, plus live music dive. My God, how did this concept come about, please?
It kind of grew organically, to be honest. We began as a vintage clothing shop. We started doing odd parties for celebrations, Valentine's Day, Christmas, and realised that music and alcohol and clothes is a very good combination. So luckily I met my lovely husband, Steve, who started planning events. So we kind of grew the business in a way that was kind of adapting to the environment, really.
Yeah, I gotta say this. Hannah and Steve got hitched just recently. Congratulations, guys. So are you really telling me that if you hadn't met Steve, it wouldn't have panned out like this?
No. Clearly not. And I think that is something that the business has done. It has kind of organically grown in a way that, yeah, personalities have influence, but no, I think we'd be doing something very similar.
Pixie Geldof described you the other day in the papers as London's best kept secret. So who else from the music biz comes here to find this unique piece that will just not be found or seen anywhere else?
Well, indeed. I mean, celebrity spotting isn't my forte, but we've definitely had some recognisable characters. Keira Knightley being the main one. She comes in here quite regularly and held her birthday here.
She's got a film coming out soon, hasn't she?
Hasn't she always? But we also get great designers, people like Erdem, Jonathan Saunders kind of come here to source and find inspiration, I guess.
I've seen from everything you've got here, you've even got part of stage costumes a bit.
Yeah, we've got a bit of everything, and that's the fun. It's all an eclectic mix, so we have so many different styles that suit so many different people, which is really nice. So you've got something to offer to everybody. It's fab.
Where do you find this, Hannah, please?
Well, I'm from West Yorkshire, so it's a joy to get out of London in some ways and go and exploring markets. I go to specialist dealers who go to house clearances, all sorts, and often to private collectors as well, kind of buying from them, it's retail therapy for me, so it's the fun part.
Oh my God. Does that inspire you as in, my God, if I haven't ever seen anything like this before, if you've come across this one single piece that you think, Jesus, that's a complete gem, that's going to be, what, £500? No.
Well, there's got to be some perks to the jobs, and some of those things stay within my personal collection. The older pieces for me are the kind of exciting ones. I mean, the fact that they're a piece of history from a bygone era is amazing, really.
Yes, and this is definitely a sense that you get when you come in here, that you look at a piece and you think, Jesus, who has worn this? What was this woman like? Exactly, yeah. What fun did they have?
For sure, it's kind of inventing those stories is really good fun, and giving them a new lease of life, showing them to the modern contemporary society that we have, and wearing a piece of history but in your own way is a really individual way of expressing yourself.
This is something that Livia Firth, Colin's wife, has been trumpeting about a lot with regards to how to recycle fashion best, and I think that initiative is also responsible to a great deal for vintage having this little revival in a way, mixing it with modern brands, modern stuff, even high street stuff.
Yeah, but I think that's it. It is recycling, which is great for the environment at the moment. And I think one thing that I've always said that we do at Paper Dress is we sell style, not fashion. So we sell things that flatter people. Obviously trends come and go, and this year, for instance, denim's been a really big seller because it's also been all over the high streets, but it's nice to be able to sell something that flatters the individual rather than it being kind of fashion or trend led in some ways. We have a real eclectic mix of events that goes on here. I mean, in some ways it's a very selfish venture. I like these things, I like activities, I like creative kind of happenings, and it's great that we're able to put these things on. We get a really good response for the community as well, so people seem to enjoy lots of different activities that we put on, so we get a real mix of people.
It's incredible because that sounds as if they're throwing the odd gig, but actually you've got a fully fledged program going every month.
Yeah, we have something pretty much every day of the week, from a regular open mic on a Sunday to, as you said, poetry, music, drawing, choir. It's a real eclectic mix of stuff going on, which is great. It does keep us busy. For New Year's in particular, we have a David Bowie themed night, very topical, and who doesn't like Bowie? We have loads of other things going on, a few private parties, a few Christmas do's, a few jive dancing kind of happenings going on, and we just had a really amazing party which was Barbarella themed, where everyone came in sexy 60s kind of sci-fi stuff.
Tell us, Hannah, what's in the news now for Paper Dress? Is there anything that we absolutely have to know?
Well, as I say, we're a business that organically develops, and it's all about our kind of personality traits. I happen to have just qualified as a yoga teacher, so there's a vague idea that we might kind of start putting on yoga events and also kind of grow the music side of things, increase the event size, the venue size. So yeah, there's possible brewings of developments for the business.
Incredible. You're like some sort of filter, aren't you? Where, you know, whatever comes along, right, we'll just turn into a
that as well. Yeah, it's about changing and going with it. Yeah.
Well, good luck with that. Hannah, it's fantastic talking to you. Thank you so much, and all the best with the yoga venture.
Thank you very much. Pleasure.